Hello everybody. Thank you for watching my YouTube. I hope you have a great day. Today we are going to talk about the Kubernetes installation using master 3 node platform. And at the same time I have a dedicated Minikube setup. So I have a system which is going to have and will be installing to Minikube dedicatedly. In the system I have 3 nodes each with a capacity of uh, 6 GB memory and 4 CPU. One for dedicated for master and node 1, node 2 and node 3. These are my IP address which I'm going to connect. And this is the URL, my GitHub URL, where you can find out the step-by-step installation procedure. Let's get into the demo part. Uh, Here is the master one, 3 nodes, and the master 2 is basically for the installation on the using the Minikube. So let's proceed with installation. So first I have disabled SE Linux across all the systems. Then enable all these parameters, this mod probe, and this is the prerequisites for setting up the Kubernetes infrastructure. Okay, and I've almost disabled the swap. So let's disable the swap on all the nodes. I have 3 nodes. So I'm disabling the swap, and let's and other parameters, the kernel parameters normally. So I already turned it on. I already disabled all these parameters to ease our installation. So and at the same time, this is a serial Linux, so our duplicated step. So let's you can eradicate it. Now let's install the Docker. Before installing the Docker, this is a prerequisite. So let's install the prerequisite. So I've already installed it. I'm rechecking it one more time. Here is missing. So this is I'm just adding the repository across Kubernetes repo across masters and the nodes. So yeah, the now let's begin the installation. The installation will be quite easy and quicker. This is the for installation for the master, and this is for the nodes. This packages is needed for the Kubernetes. Yep. So the package is getting installed. Let's see on 3 nodes. So master is okay. So master is still proceeding. Yeah, I'm just walk you through the step-by-step installation. So it definitely gets some time, take some time. Thank you for waiting for me. Okay, let's start the services. Enable and start the services. This is for master. And at the same time, I'm going to enable this for the on the node level. I'm enabling the Docker service. Okay, so now the installation is means package installation is done. Now let's configure. I'm just going to start the configuration of the Kubernetes. So this is the initialization. So let me start. Okay, it's starting it up. So it's trying to pull all the images for the kube config and kube ADM. To try to pull all the Kubernetes images. So I will pause the video for a minute. Let's for that come. Yeah, so the installation is done. So this is the command. You can use this command to join the nodes. Before joining these nodes, I need to ensure this parameter is passed. So let me run over here. So I'm just going to join the nodes. So let me join the nodes for all the three nodes. So let's see the command kubectl get nodes. So it's not yet ready. Let me install the networking components. Networking components, I'm not going to deal here. There are multiple network components like we have the we have the Weave, you have Calico plugins, and at the same time, there are a lot of other networking plugins. I'm going to use the Weave network. Yeah, so the Weave plugin is installed. The networking plugin is turned on. So let me see the nodes. Still not ready. So I can even see the logs here. So some errors it's trying to see. Some errors it's trying to fix. Connection refused. So kubectl get nodes -o watch the command. Watch. So you can see the nodes joining to the yeah, node 2 is ready. Node 3 and node 1 is not yet ready. Let me pause, make sure that these nodes are ready. Yeah, the installation is done. So let's set the pod, check the pods, let's check the nodes, whether they are active now. Yeah, so you can see the nodes is ready. So all the nodes are active at the moment and we are good to go. Yeah. So we have all CentOS 7.5 machine with a kernel of 3.10 with Docker version of 1.31. So I'm going to go for the Minikube setup. Let's proceed for the Minikube setup. So here's the installation procedure. I think you can refer my GitHub. Before that, I forgot to check the few commands. I just want to inform you the few commands. Let's check the kubectl versions, cluster info, and the event details. So We can check the events like whether this will give us a message whether it has sufficient disk, allocated process, memory, etc. Blah blah blah. You will find out all the information in case you have problems. See, the node is now having some problem. You can get the complete details using kubectl get events, and at the same time you can see the cluster status, whether they are active or not. And the second thing is that is let's see the cluster check. So control manager, scheduler, etcd, they're all healthy. And now let's check the kubectl versions. So kubectl version is 112. Okay, so one is a kubectl version major is 12. And let's check the cluster info. I've already did that. Now let's check the pods for the kube system. Right, so we got the pods. So we have the view networking component which deployed in the container. And now I want to install the dashboard now for Kubernetes management. Let's proceed. So kubectl get pods on the kube system. So dashboard the container is creating still. So let's see. So dashboard is ready now. So let's browse the dashboard. So the URL is the port number is 3100. Yep. So you can. I got the dashboard, Kubernetes dashboard. So now let's proceed with the Minikube setup. This is the three-node cluster setup, which we have done now. So let's proceed for the Minikube. So it will be useful those who want to use a one node. You can use this setup. Let's proceed the installation of the Minikube. So basically we are using the KVM as a virtualization system. Yep, installed. So let's enable the virtualize KVM process, KVM service. Enabled it. Now let's enable the Kubernetes repository package. I'm going to install the kubectl. Yeah, so kubectl is done. So I'm going to download the Minikube and the Docker driver. So I'm just changing the permission. I'm just going to move this to user local bin, so that I can access the Minikube. So Minikube version. I'm sorry, I just typed typo. So Minikube version. Right. So version is 0.030. So let's start the Minikube. However, this setup will take some time. I will try to pause and come back to you once again once the Minikube setup is completed. So it is downloading the Minikube ISO. Yep, so it's almost 100% done. Yeah, this will take some time. I'll pause the video and once it is ready, I'll come back. Yep, so the installation is done for the Minikube. Let me check the status now. Oh yeah, so Minikube status is stopped. So let's start it. So it is starting now. Yeah, again, it's taking some time to start. Yeah, let me pause it. Yeah, so now we can see the Minikube is started. Let's check the status. So Minikube status. Yeah, so Minikube is running now. Let's see the version. So Minikube service list. Yeah, so we need to configure dashboards. We need to check Minikube Docker version, cluster info. Yeah, so kubectl get nodes. Varnish list. So we are running in the KVM. So let's check Minikube SSH. And let's see the host name. Yep. So Docker PS. You can see the list of containers running on. So we have all the Kubernetes dashboard and networking is paused, API. They're all up and running. Now yeah, this is a completion of the Minikube setup. And now let's do the production grade setup. We will see how the production grade setup is done in the real environmental, mainly in the big and large companies focus to do for an high availability mode. We will see that setup. I've also given a step-by-step document for the production grade setup that I will discuss in the next video. Thank you guys.